on to cure my insomnia. And back
It'll
in the
do it.
VHS days, it was one of the ones that came on 2 different VHS tapes. That was a sure sign of just crap.
Yeah, I think they actually released the director's cut of that, too. Yeah, what was it originally? Like 2.5 hours? Yeah, 2.5 hours of water and Kevin Costner floating on that water. Water world.
He kept hoping for a shark to pull him right under and mess him up. Please let a shark kill him.
That was just it. There was always that hope for something awesome to happen.
And they failed you in life.
Nothing happened.
No.
And yet you still play it again.
I have watched it more than once, yes.
All right, and number 4, Dune.
Dune is...
Yuck.
Now, Eddie's going to hit us with something.
Eddie, well, we do have one person in the room
and he likes it. Okay.
who likes it. That's fine. At least I'm getting some disagreement now.
That's a good sleep aid movie. I will say that.
I mean, this is a case. Maybe I hated this worse because...
Oh, he's getting up. He's got a
He's
weapon.
coming to the microphone.
He's going to kill us.
Coming to the microphone, DJ Psycho Eddie, who is now renting space in our studio.
And why did you leave the brass knuckles in here?
No, I had a few extra pairs sitting around. I got to tell you, I am a very detail-oriented person, and that is what Dune is. You have to pay attention, and you have to pick up the minute details that you normally wouldn't pick up in other movies, because those play a major part later on in the movie. Now, following that, and I will give you, there are parts of that movie that are really drawn out. And if you see the director's cut, which director's cut is just a euphemism for this is gonna really suck. If you watch the director's cut, there is actually a 10-minute scene. For the full 10 minutes, the man is tied up on the ground, writhing in the sand for 10 minutes. I get it. It gets boring, but it's a good movie.
I've never stayed awake through that.
I can't. The first 5 minutes, I fall asleep. It's like The Exorcist. When I first started watching that, I have to fast forward the first 15 minutes of that because it's so damn dry that I want the good stuff. I don't care about the religious holy moly stuff that's in the beginning of that.
Right. Well, I think getting back to Dune, though, and if we start criticizing The Exorcist...
I know, but we'll go back to Dune.
Right, back to Dune. The problem with Dune, I think the reason I hated it more, and he's a smart guy, he's entitled to his opinion, but the reason I disliked it intensely is because I read the book, Dune. Now, Eddie talks about the minutiae of the movie. Dune, the written novel, is one of the greatest science fiction books ever written. That's where the detail comes into play. The book is everything the movie is not, in my humble opinion. That's the problem with it. In other words, do both. Read the book, watch the movie. Now, we've said this before on our show, on both shows, that mentally we have to draw that line there is between whether it's a comic book or a book and the movie version of whatever it is. Understood. But Dune is a situation where I'm unable to do that for whatever reason. Okay? So, all right, that's what now. 5, I don't know. Jump in here, guys. I pretty much nauseated and sickened Tony Jones beyond all recovery. So
I have to put this up there because it's a big one.
Yeah, what else is on that list over there? Yeah.
And they've put lots of money into this as well with crappy actors. Sharknado. That is god awful. And they're going on number 3, and a good friend of ours is in it. And I'm like, wow, you're going to ruin your career, dude. Why did you put yourself in that movie?
To me, I never watched any of the 3. The reason is because I put it in the category of movies that are supposed to be so clever. You know what I'm saying? In other words, there's supposed to be such happenings and scenester and everything like that. They're too self-consciously cool. In other words, that's the impression I got.
Sorry, Eddie. But you didn't have to shoot me, man.
Oh.
Oh, no.
That's blood.
I don't have enough gauze for that one, Chuckles. We're going
All
to
right,
have
Eddie's
to go back
reaching,
to the asylum
Psycho
soon.
Eddie's reaching for the microphone, and if this means he's going to talk about Dune some more, I don't know. I'm ambivalent about this.
No, I'm not going to speak about Dune at all. I actually, even worse than the Sharknado series, are the spin-offs where they had the genetically modified Sharktopus was one that comes to mind.
I remember Shark.
any-
Half shark, half octopus, and
All
they
right.
tried to train it. Croctopus was another one.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh, you can stop right there. What you're getting at? This is a whole subgenre of crap, which is
Crap
which is
spun off
original
of other crap. This
Right,
is like
original
third
films-
generation crap.
Oh,
original films shown on the Sci-Fi Channel. Basically,
Now,
that's
Not all of
Sharknado
them.
was meant for sci-fi.
yeah.
And
yeah,
some
exactly.
reason it ended up in the theater not once, not twice, but the third time it is actually go. And they only do it for 1 or 2 nights, but it ends up in the flipping movie theaters, and it's
Right.
packed.
Right, because it's like a Rocky Horror Picture Show. Talking to any of our older listeners, it's a cult thing. It's become for some reason a cult thing, which isn't exactly what we're talking about here.
I
You know
actually
what I'm
had
saying? Movies that are intentionally bad. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about movies like I think Chuckles or Tony said about War of the Worlds is that the people that made it sat around thinking this is really great. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks.
Yeah.
right.
That's what we're talking about here. What else is on there? Now, is
These
there
are
any big?
all intentionally sucky movies.
All right, then that's not
But-
that's not the list we want. Then
Now, here's the thing. I had an idiot come up to me at, I'm going to say, at one of the cons.
we have idiots come up to us often. You
Now,
have to be
he
more
asked
specific.
me why I wasn't going to go see any of these people and get their autographs. And I said, well, I think of that just like I do Centipede. It's a horrible movie.
Right.
And his reaction to my response was, oh, a Sharknado really could happen. And he goes, it's proven. Fish get stuck in water spouts all the time.
Yeah, okay, but they don't cause dismemberment and violence
And they
as a result. They
Don't
kind of
get caught in tornadoes that come up through your
no, they
storm drain.
no fish that get caught in water spouts generally flop around on the ground and die horribly
Yeah,
from lack of
they don't,
lack of
yeah.
water.
That would never happen. And this
No.
kid
I
honestly
want you
thinks
to-
it could happen.
I want you to introduce me to this kid
I will.
next time we're at the convention and he comes along.
I definitely will.
I really do.
He comes up. If you're listening, come up and we'll have that debate again. And we'll have one of our friends talk to you about polar bears that are amphibious. You guys would hit it off real well.
Okay, let's see. You know what? Let's go to some music before we get on to this next movie that I coming up with, and we'll get the opinion of everybody on it. Let's go back. Let's go to. We're talking old school. Some of these movies. Let's go back to that same '80s Iron Maiden, Wrathchild, here on the Haunted Cabaret on Rhode Island Free Radio. All right, that was Iron Maiden, Wrathchild, here on the Haunted Cabaret. And I don't know, I like to think that we're making some of our listeners pretty wrathful because we're talking about science fiction movies that we absolutely hate here at the Haunted Cabaret. Although so far, other than a little disagreement with our buddy Psycho Eddie, we haven't really had much disagreement.
Little disagreement. He shot me. That's a lot of disagreement.
You recovered.
Yeah, but still, he shot me.
All right, let's see it.
I'll kiss it better at home. Get over
Oh,
it.
the guy downstairs wants to fight.
All right, let's see if we can hit another vein of movie pus. Let's see. How about, let's see, if I mention a production company called the Emmerich Brothers, does that ring a bell with anybody?
Nope. Keep going.
Will it ring a bell if I mention the 1998 Godzilla?
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Garbage.
Will it ring a bell if I mention The Day After?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is up there. I think I have that title, right? That's the one about the ultimate global warming, global freezing
The
I
day.
think so. That's the everything.
Okay, The Day After is the nuclear war.
I thought that was
Okay.
the
Day
random
After
freezing
Tomorrow
one.
is the name of
Oh, it's the
Day After Tomorrow. Okay, Day After Tomorrow is the one about where the world freezes in like 24 hours.
The deadly storm that comes in and
That's-
the wolves are on the boat.
That's the one. That's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah, that's the one. And that's the one that ends with the whole population of the southern United States migrating down to Mexico and asking them to let us in.
And why would
Yeah.
we do that? I'd rather freeze.
Yeah, and apparently we forgive their debt
Yeah.
so that they let us in, and our friends in Mexico give us the United States shelter. And it's a storm so horrible that the president's plane crashes en route. And however, the main character, the star of the show, whose name escapes me, again, like Tony on the other movie, I've blotted this one mostly out of my mind. But in a storm so awful that it's like, what, a zillion degrees below zero, the president can't get through. There's like 400 feet of snow in New York. By the way, you can tell this stupid-ass movie was made in California because did you notice that in a movie that deals basically with a blizzard, nobody tries to shovel the friggin' snow?
Yeah. It's like New Englanders shovels.
Yeah, I mean, that-
we're prepared.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the amount of snow that falls in that movie, it would be...
Oh! Cut it out.
Gunfire is...
Now they're mad about that
Running
movie.
rampant.
No,
What
I
are you
don't...
doing?
No, I don't think this is the movies that have got people riled up and the cause of that gunfire. I think it's more Chuckles' questionable past that's catching up with him.
Yep. And I'll be leaving shortly.
Yeah, well, they haven't hit a vulnerable spot yet. So as long as they're missing me and Chuckles is still with us, we're going to go on with the show.
That's right, because I'm going to walk behind Tony when I'm leaving.
Right,
So I don't get shot.
right. But anyway, The Day After Tomorrow, it's the storm to end all storms, but the star of the movie manages to walk from, from like 3 states. He walks, was it from Pennsylvania to New York, or some ridiculous...
Yeah, something like that.
Thing.
Didn't they start off on snowmobiles and then the engines froze up on them or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
even
that?
gasoline engines couldn't function because it was
Yeah.
so cold. But this guy he hiked across 3 states to find his brain dead son in a
building flooding.
in a New York library where they were burning old tax records to keep warm. With the windows and doors open, if I remember correctly.
Everything was busted open. 'cause
Right,
the
all the
cold
windows are
shattered
broken.
the glass.
Right, but they had a big fire in the fireplace, and
But everyone was fine.
the Emmerich brothers now, and they weren't satisfied with just Godzilla and The Day After Tomorrow. They also brought us. It's almost like an Ed Wood like subcategory all their own, because they gave us 10,000 BC.
Yep,
Which
that was bad.
I have not been able to watch the whole thing. I
No.
lasted about 20 minutes.
I don't know what that movie had to do about anything.
I know it had